Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the We Like Dota League season. Well, I guess this is season one, right? Yeah, it's the only season we've had. And I'm not casting this live. I'm casting it from a replay because I was unable to be there for the live match. So sorry about that. But yeah, I do have the replay courtesy of Hoju Simpson on the side of the Canadians. So thank you, Hoju, for sending that my way. And it looks like we did have to go for an all-pick remake due to some technical difficulties, I guess, or something like that. So, yeah. Taking a look at the drafts here, I do tend to favor the 2EZ 4RTZ draft. It does look a little more standard. I am a big fan of the Dazzle. And, yeah, it's interesting to see Necrophos get picked again. And also the Tide Hunter. Seems as though both teams tend to value the Tide Hunter and Necrophos pickups. And also the Canadians did go for the Witch Doctor pickup yet again. So they do seem to value him quite a bit. I do like the Dazzle pick on the side of 2EZ for our TZ due to just the sustain that comes from that. And it looks like William was tempted to pick up the techies, it looks like. But yeah, I'll go ahead and introduce the rosters here. On the side of the Canadians, they will be on the Radiant side. We do have Hoju Simpson playing the Tide Hunter. Civil Pirate, who was playing the hard farming Faceless Void last match, is now playing Witch Doctor. So it looks like they are quite flexible as far as who's playing what, which I do like that. Adamus will be on the Earthshaker. Oviaz will be on the Drow Ranger. Maybe they had to have, looks like they probably had to have a substitution, which would explain why we have a different support player here. And we have Shiktal on the Axe. I am curious to see what comes of the Axe play here on the side of the Canadians. And on our Dire side, we will have Patrick Bateman on the Viper. We will have Anarchies on the Dazzle with a... Okay, he does have the genuine Shadow Flame set. That's like a $30 set. That's a big deal. Especially this Dazzleator item is so cool. I don't know of any Dazzler who buys Desolator, and I don't know why they modeled a Dazzle item after Desolator, but it's still really cool looking. And we have Calvin Smokes Wex on the Vengeful Spirit. Big fan of the Vengeful Spirit. Somebody will be on the Necrophos in the mid lane, and we have Jack Survive on the Weaver. So, yeah, I think initially I do favor the 2EZ for our TZ draft. I think it's a little more standard and just maybe a little bit more easy to pull off. The Canadians did go for a little bit more. Yeah, I think they're really banking a lot on this Drow Ranger and on this Axe. So we will see what comes of it. And this Axe is just kind of sitting on an Invis rune in the safe lane, so I guess we're gonna have a safe lane farming Axe. And 2EZ for RTZ did get a ward up here to. I think this ward should block. Yeah, it looks like it blocked this medium camp. So I guess they're maybe trying to block either some jungle farming or the double pull. And yet again, we do have two tri-lanes. We do have two aggressive tri-lanes actually in this match. So it is interesting to see how that will play out. And it's going to be a tough time for this Weaver to get any sort of farm with a Witch Doctor and Tide Hunter and an Earthshaker. Good lord, that's going to be, if he even gets slightly out of position, that's going to be a dead Weaver. So. And yeah, it looks like they are going to go ahead and do some rotations here. So it looks like they are going to go ahead and opt for a safe lane, tri-lane for this Weaver. So Yeah, we are going to have tri-lane against tri-lane now. We'll see how that winds up. So, good call there. Otherwise, the Weaver would just never have gotten any farm whatsoever. And in the mid lane, Drow Ranger against Necrophos. I'm not sure who that matchup favors. And Axe is going to go ahead and use the Berserker's Call against this Viper. And yeah, he does take quite a bit of damage from the Axe. So I'm not really sure lineup-wise, lane-wise, who this lane favors. I would think Viper should be able to harass Axe quite a bit, but I don't know with that Berserker's Call and counter Helix. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. And I kind of feel like this top lane is just a ticking time bomb for either team to just look for one side or the other to be slightly out of position, and they'll just be able to go to town. But I think more so on the side of the Canadians, they'll be able to catch out these heroes so easily, because really the only stun that they have is the Venge stun. They can initiate with a nice Fissure from Earthshaker, and then like with a Cask, and I mean it's going to be a while until Tidehunter has Ravage up, of course, but yeah, it is an interesting lane for certain. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep my eye on it. See how that whole thing goes. We do have Viper winning in farm. And Axe does use the Battle Hunger on the Viper, and he is going to try and chase him down some, and Viper using that Tango to try and get out of there. And I have to admit, I'm not an Axe player, so I'm not entirely sure. I'm not very good with Axe, so you'll have to bear with me with my Axe analysis, quote-unquote analysis. You know, like I offer so much in-depth analysis on other heroes. So it looks like with the Battle Hunger, there's just a little bit of a movement slow and some damage over time. Looks like the real money is with the Berserker's Call and the counter Helix. Look at this bonus armor from Berserker's Call. You get 40 bonus armor. Good lord, that's nice. So yeah, if you're able to get off a good Berserker's Call, it's not entirely a stun, but it might as well be, because with all that armor that Axe gets during the duration of that, all the other heroes can just wail on the heroes that are affected by Berserker's Call and just go crazy with it. And Drow Ranger is pretty much keeping up with the Viper in terms of farm. Yeah, in this safe lane, Weaver doing okay on farm. Nothing to be super concerned about quite yet. Though we will have a stun go down on the Witch Doctor, and he does go down quite quickly. Weaver drawing first blood by killing the Witch Doctor, so that does just go to show that if you're even slightly out of position, look out. And that magic missile from Venge just goes to show why she is so strong and terrifying, really, in tri-lanes. So that will be power treads for Weaver. And Witch Doctor is going to go ahead and head back to lane. And Venge does pick up some smoke, so we will keep our eye on that to see if they do go for any sort of smoke gank. And we do have Axe and Earthshaker down here in the bottom lane on the side of the Radiant. So I guess they've just kind of decided to opt for, I guess maybe a roaming Witch Doctor to maybe try and get a kill on this Viper to slow down his farm a little bit. He has been keeping up with Drow as far as farm, and yeah, I'm not sure who the one to worry about is right now. I would think, yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't know. I don't think either team has necessarily a clear advantage quite yet. But Vengeful Spirit did activate that smoke, and it is going to go ahead and expire. They are going to go ahead and use the Scythe on the Drow, but Used it a little bit early there. Nonetheless, Necrophos does get the kill on her. And this Earthshaker did get off a nice, is that a double pull? Yeah. No. Okay, he stacked the easy camp twice and he did get a nice pull into lane there, so that will help him out quite a bit for some of his farm and XP, of course. Let's go ahead and take a look at the items. Everyone has their boots up. Weaver does have power treads. Viper does have phase boots, which I do like on him quite a bit. The Canadian's not opting to upgrade their items quite, or bleh. I can't even talk today. English. How does it work? Yeah, the Canadians have opted to not upgrade their boots quite yet. Instead, focusing on other items like Drow. It looks like she's going to be going for a Shadow Blade. Axe going for a bottle, of course. And frick, I just missed a kill. But you know what? Since this is a replay, we can just do one of these. And it looks like it was Vengeful Spirit. So it looks like Vengeful Spirit and Viper are going to go ahead and rotate down into the Radiant Jungle. And the Viper Strike will be used on the Witch Doctor, and the Magic Missile will be used, and Witch Doctor will get just totally blown up. And the cast does bounce around a little bit with the Earthshaker Fisher as well, but obviously not enough to save the Witch Doctor from all the burst damage from the two of them. So good call there. So a couple nice little ganks here on the side of 2EZ 4RTZ does put them at a decent advantage. They are ahead by about 2,000 gold right now. Or no, excuse me, 1,500 gold. So let's see if there's any sort of response from the Canadians. I would think now that Drow Ranger's level 8, we should start to see them strike back a little bit. Axe is going to go ahead and go in. The Dazzle is going to use the... Oh, and a Maledict catching out 3 of them. And they are just going to go ahead and have to back up here. I don't think it's enough to kill anyone, but the Dazzle will keep them alive with the Shadow Wave. I always forget what that's called. And yeah, that Witch Doctor Maledict really... Honestly, like, Axe was so... He was getting pretty low on HP, and I think that really just kind of saved his butt. So he was going to go ahead and continue to stack up this hard camp and probably go ahead and try and take that hard camp down. And looks like he didn't quite get it, which is a shame.
Bottom is missing.
Viper going for the Wraith Band. Gonna go ahead and finish up his Ring of Aquila, Akia, or Aquila, depending on how you say it. Of which I don't know how to. Vengeful Spirit roaming into the Radiant Jungle. Gonna try and sneak into some of these trees. Axe continuing to farm up in the jungle. And it looks like we might try and get a bit of a gank on Drow Ranger, and I don't know if she knows that Venge is here, but Axe does, and goes ahead and engages. The Gust will be used, and this might be a dead Vengeful Spirit. The Berserker's Call and the Slam Dunk from Axe will take her out. What is that called? Yeah, it is Gust, okay. And we might see another Slam Dunk from Axe. He does pick up the Haster, and here we go, folks. The Shallow Grave will be used, but the Axe Slam Dunk does go through Shallow Grave. And come on, here we go. Oh, the Berserker's Call just misses. Regardless, he does get off the Culling Blade. And that's funny because I had to check the name of it because I only know of it as the Slam Dunk. So that little exchange definitely favoring Axe and the Canadians. The Viper Strike will be used on Axe, and I think this will take him down. And no, it doesn't. How long does the Viper Strike last at level 1? Let's take a look. 5.1 seconds. So wait a second. Did Axe dispel that somehow? Because that did not last on him for 5 seconds. Interesting. I'm not sure what just happened, but I know something did. Somehow the Viper Strike was dispelled, and I'm not entirely sure how that happened. Unless 5 seconds went a little bit quicker than what I thought. So there's some sort of trickery going on here. And Axe did catch out this Weaver in the top lane. Good lord. Totally missed that. Wasn't even expecting that. So I think Axe, you guys, is kind of starting to go crazy here. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Axe is going nuts. But it looks like the Canadians are going to be able to go ahead and take this tower down. The cask will start bouncing around between Dazzle and the Necrophos. The Maledict will catch out Necrophos. And Viper Strike will shoot out the lone poison attack onto the Witch Doctor. Maledict's still ticking away here. Necrophos will be quite fine. Axe does pick up the regen rune, and he is on the hunt. He's going to roam into the dire jungle here, and a nice blink berserker's call, and the dunk going through the shallow grave yet again. And oh no, this is going to be another one. There we go. That's 2 down on the side of 2EZ 4RTZ, and the slam dunks are real tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And this Axe is just going crazy. And yeah, you gotta feel for Dazzle. He is throwing out the shallow grave, and normally is quite helpful with the shallow grave, but yeah, the slam dunk, I don't think there's anything that can stop it. I think it goes through everything, right? As far as I know. Yeah, so unfortunately, I mean, you have to be really close. What's the radius on it? As it should be. I'm not sure what the radius is on it. I can't even, it doesn't show it. But I mean, that's like less than melee range right there, right? Let's take a look at the gold graph. Yeah, definitely starting to favor the Canadians. They are recovering quite well from that 1,500 gold deficit earlier. Nice ward spot here. I do like that. Yeah, we do have a bit of a tri-lane situation here. A nice swap from the Vengeful Spirit, and that's going to be a dead Tidehunter. And Axe says not today. Rotates in a nice Berserker's Call, catching out 3. That's 2 dunks! Taking out the Viper and the Vengeful Spirit just like that. Good freaking lord. And he is going to heal up at the bottle and be just fine. And the Reaper's Scythe, see you later, Drow. That's going to be a dead Drow. And another dunk. Oh, no! And the Necrophos getting the double kill, taking out the Axe. I'm not exactly sure why Axe didn't use the Culling Blade on him. I think he was down at the appropriate level. Maybe he just didn't have the timing off. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, that's... Yep, that just happened. 3 dead on the side of Canadians. And it has just been back and forth, and 2EZ 4RTZ they are just not going down without a fight. They are on the line. This is their elimination match. If they lose, they are out of the We Like Dota League. And yeah, they are not giving up without a fight, which is just great to see. So Weaver going to be going for the Lincoln Sphere, which also, again, I'm not sure if Culling Blade goes through Lincoln Sphere or not. I guess we'll find out. Viper looks like he might potentially be saving up for, and that's going to be a dead Vengeful Spirit. And this Viper now has 8 kills. And Weaver did, it looks like Weaver and Earthshaker exchanged here in the bottom lane as this excitement was going on with Axe. But yeah, as I was saying, it's looking like Viper, not sure what Viper's going to be going for here. He does have quite a bit of gold saved up, maybe saving for a buyback or something like that if needed. Drought Ranger does have the Shadow Blade. The Viper Strike will be used, and the Death Ward does go down, doing a ton of damage. The Shallow Grave will be used, and it's going to keep Viper alive for the moment. And this Death Ward was doing quite a bit of damage to Necrophos, but Witch Doctor did take down the Viper with the Maledict. Necrophos taking out the Witch Doctor with the Scythe, and that's going to be an even exchange. A Witch Doctor for a Viper, and Earthshaker coming in, getting off the Echo Slam. Not going to do too much with it, though. Viper comes in with the Berserker's Call. There's... No, I thought we had one down. Never mind. Tidehunter is going to go ahead, blink in, hit the Ravage, and yeah, that's still just 2 down on each team's side. So I thought we were going to see quite the engagement happen. It looks like Axe kind of had a bit of a misplay with the Culling Blade. Didn't quite think the ultimate was, or excuse me, the missed the HP threshold on some hero on 2EZ 4RTZ. So definitely very important if you're playing Axe to know what those thresholds are. I just saw I guess you'd call it an infographic on our Dota 2 on Reddit about how to tell, it tells you by looking at the, how many slivers are left in the HP bars for if the thresholds have been met for that Culling Blade ultimate. So it was a nice little graphic. You can try and find that or take a look at that in your own time. And 2EZ 4RTZ taking down this tier 1 mid tower. It looks like they're going to get it. I don't think the Canadians are going to be able to contest it, or if they want to, I think they're just going to go ahead and exchange for a tower of their own. And there we go. So they did go ahead and just exchange the towers here. Looks like Weaver, or not Weaver, Dazzle did throw that on the Weave. And Viper kind of hiding in the trees here. It looks like he's... I thought I did see in his stash the Shadow Amulet, so he is going to be going Shadow Blade. Interesting to see all these Shadow Blade pickups. We do have the Drow Ranger picking up the Shadow Blade, as well as Viper's going to be going for one as well. Weaver well on his way to a Lincoln Sphere. Necrophos going for the Ag Scepter, which of course is just a great pickup for him. On the side of the Canadians... Earthshaker probably going for an Urn of Shadows. Drow Ranger, of course, as I just said, has that Shadow Blade. Axe does have the Blade Mail. Other than that, we don't have too many huge items come out yet. I think probably the next big item will be that Lincoln Sphere for Weaver. Which I'm not sure if Weaver is close to that or not. Yes, he is. He just needs that recipe. Vengeful Spirit going to be very close to finishing up Power Treads, so I would expect to see her grabbing those sometime soon. And we might have a bit of an engagement forming up here. We do have both teams in the mid lane. With Axe ready to go here. We do have the Ravage engagement. There's one down with the Culling Blade. The Weave will be used. I think it only cut out the Axe, but it is going to buff up 2EZ 4RTZ quite a bit. The Death Ward doing a ton of damage. The Scythe will be used on the Witch Doctor, not going to do too much. 3 down on the side of 2EZ 4RTZ, and the Berserker's Call will be used on the Weaver. And the Time Lapse will be used. The Earthshaker does come in with the Fissure that'll help keep them alive a little bit longer, and that's 2 down, that's 3 down, so that's 3 Culling Blade kills on the side of Axe, and that's a full man team wipe in favor of the Canadians. And this Axe is just going ham with these Culling Blade kills. And it's I think this Drow Ranger Axe combo is pretty good. You know, you do have, you initiate with the Tidehunter Ravage, Drow Ranger stays, kind of on the outskirts, just kind of picking everybody off, and then once they start to get low, Axe just comes in and just goes crazy with the Culling Blade, so... And yeah, the net worth graph is definitely showing it that the game is starting to favor the Canadians. But I gotta think that 2EZ 4RTZ, they are not looking to bow out quite yet. Not looking to throw up that GG, of course. So we'll see what they're able to get done. And Weaver engaging on the Drow Ranger here. Not sure if this is smart or not. The Dust will be used, and a nice swap will get Earthshaker quite out of position here. And yeah, that's going to be a dead Earthshaker. So nice pick off for Weaver right there. And that's going to be the Lincoln Sphere for the Weaver. So we'll see. Maybe that'll help him out quite a bit. It's a much needed item for Weaver. Help him stay safe. It'll block the cask from Witch Doctor. And actually, I think that might be about it. I'm not sure what else it'll block. It's not going to block... It's not going to block Gust. It's not going to block Berserker's Call. I think, yeah, Culling Blade goes through it. Fissure... I'm not sure if it'll block Fissure or not, but it's not a directly... You know, you're not targeting a unit with Fissure, so I don't think Lincoln Sphere blocks Fissure. So I'm not sure if that's necessarily the smartest pickup for Weaver. Maybe BKB would be a little bit better. BKB, or maybe just going straight for damage items, you know, going for Daedalus, or maybe a farming item like a Maelstrom or something like that. But with that said, you know, you do get a lot of really nice items from the Lincoln Sphere, so I don't think it's a bad item by any means. So we'll see how it pays off for him. And the Canadians are going to go ahead and group up as 4 and push this top lane. Looks like Witch Doctor is going to be trying to build into that Ag Scepter. Which Witch Doctor with Ag Scepter is always just so much fun to play. Definitely a big fan there. And it looks like Axe is going to kind of try and hold the line here while everyone else goes in for this tower. Jaw Ranger getting the last hit there. Tidehunter does blink in, doesn't catch anyone with the Ravage, so definitely a bit of a misplay there. The Viper Strike will be deployed on the Earthshaker. The Echo Slam is only going to catch out 2. And the Berserker's Call is going to catch out the Necrophos, and the Culling Blade was used a little prematurely, and that's going to be 1 down on each team's side. And the Death Ward not being used quite in the smartest way, and the Lincoln Sphere is popped from the Viper, or no, excuse me, from the Tidehunter. Axe does get that kill on the Weaver and on the Viper. And that's going to be 4 down on the side of 2EZ 4RTZ, so that's a triple kill for Axe, and this might be a quad kill. Oh my goodness. And one more. Come on, one more. Ah, Tidehunter got it. So you got to share the love. You know, you got to share the love. Spread those kills out. So that's going to be another 5-man team wipe favoring the Canadians. Quite the gold exchange there. As my voice is cracking, I need to get some water. And I tell you what, this game is making me really want to play Axe quite a bit. And oh my gosh, he does have Ag Scepter up, which Ags for the Culling Blade brings that HP threshold down to 625. Ladies and gentlemen, 625. Dazzle has 720 HP. Holy crap. How much does Weaver have? Okay, Weaver's doing okay. Venge has 891. But Viper did get that kill on Earthshaker with some assistance from Weaver, it looks like, so. And we are going to have a blink in here. The Swarm will be deployed against Axe. He does, looks like he's just going to go ahead and TP out. And not too much that 2EZ 4RTZ can do about that. About that little TP out there. So if I'm the boys from 2EZ 4RTZ, not sure what you try and do. You try and I don't know. I don't know if split pushing is necessarily the smartest idea. Axe could pick off a number of them. I think you might want to think about doing Roshan, but you know you have to be safe to do that. So yeah, I'm not sure. I do think farming up in the jungle is a bit of a smart idea. Yeah, I don't know if you just try and push the towers or group up as 5 and push the towers. I guess that's what you have to try and do, right? Or you know, maybe hope for some pickoffs. Hope that the Canadians aren't necessarily on top of their game and you catch them out of position or something like that. And I would assume Weaver's going to be going for a Desolator here with the Mithril Hammer, but you know, he could be building into a BKB or something like that as well. So, and this top lane is starting to push out quite a bit here, so the Canadians do need to get up here and try and push out these lanes a little bit, which is what Axe is doing. And it does look like the Canadians have decided to take Roshan, which is, you know, you're ahead, why wouldn't you? Drow does have that Chrysalis since the last time we talked or checked in on her. And if you look at the levels, Axe is level 18 and Weaver's 15, so Axe is definitely quite far ahead, and that's going to be a smoke gank, so let's see what's going to happen here. And Drow is quite far behind, but can definitely still put the damage out there, so let's see what's going to happen here. And I don't think they know what's going on here. The Berserker's Call going to catch out one, Culling Blade taking down Vengeful Spirit, and Axe is just diving far, far here. The Tidehunter is going to blink in and use the Ravage. The Death Ward will be deployed here, but at what cost? Taking all sorts of tower damage. The Shallow Grave will be used. That's 2 down on the side of 2EZ 4RTZ. And that's going to be a dead Witch Doctor and Tidehunter on the side of the Canadians. And everyone taking tons of tower damage. And definitely a bit of an ill-advised team fight there. It's almost like the Canadians are trying to give this match back to 2EZ 4RTZ. That's 4 down on the side of the Canadians. And yeah, that's going to be 1,000 gold going the way of 2EZ 4RTZ. I think our friend Hoju Simpson on the Tidehunter got a little greedy there. His eyes got a little wide and just decided to go for the kills, but I think he blinked like right here, right? So he was probably taking tower damage from about 3 towers, which, yeah, you don't want to be doing that. So I think that's going to be a tower down for the Canadians. 2EZ 4RTZ is going to go ahead and try and take that. Drow is trying to push them back quite a bit. The Maledict will catch out Viper, and that is the Aegis pot for Drow Ranger. So it looks like they tried to... Yeah, I think they should have just maybe focused on this tower a little bit more, but that's okay. And, yeah, the Drow Ranger's going to go ahead and take down the Vengeful Spirit as she kind of hung out a little too long there. In the meantime, Weaver does pick up his Black King Bar, trying to go for some of that extra defense and give him a little bit more damage. Which I think is fair. He's going for maybe the ultra defensive build here. Hopefully in the meantime he can farm up some items to help him with some of his damage output a little bit. And it's a tough life for this Dazzle, still sitting on brown boots, and I assume he's been buying wards and all that good stuff. Vengeful Spirit does have that Medallion of Courage, which I'm a big fan of the medallion. Viper has a Shadow Blade of his own, as does Drow Ranger. She does have that Helm of the Dominator, and I would assume probably going for the, not Desolator, the Daedalus. Looking to up her damage quite a bit. And yes, Tidehunter picking up the Shiva's Guard. Huge fan of the Shiva's Guard. Definitely going to make it way easier for Drow Ranger to just go ahead and just right-click like crazy and take out all of these heroes. So a slight pause coming out, but it looks like we're going to go ahead and resume ASAP. Maybe not. I gotta say, as far ahead as Axe was in the mid-game, as we kind of approach towards the end of the mid-game, Weaver is really pulling ahead quite a bit. He does have 10 kills of his own, is only slightly behind in levels compared to Axe. In his gold, he's trailing by about 5,000 gold, which is about one major item. But, you gotta hand it to him. He's making a recovery, so good for him. And let's see what the Canadians are able to get done here. They do decide to push out this lane as 5. And we'll see if there's a TP response or anything. And yeah, it does look like Viper is going to go ahead and TP in. They are going to go ahead and collapse in on this tier 2 tower. And oh no, the Viper Strike being used on the Drow Ranger, but Tidehunter initiating with the Blink and the Culling Blade taking 1 down. And that's going to be 2 dead thanks to the Culling Blade. The Echo Slam is going to take down nobody. It did do a ton of damage though. The Weaver is still using the Sakuchi here, trying to get away, trying to confuse the Canadians, and I think he is going to get away. So I think that was a nice little engagement for the Canadians. All they gave up was the Earthshaker, who actually did a decent amount of damage with the Echo Slam. And yeah, that's just going to be a little bit more gold going into their pockets. But it does have to be said that they did get this tier 2 tower. I do like that when towers die, they just leave behind like this little stump. You know, like they're like a tree or something like that. I think that's kind of weird and kind of cool all at the same time. So it definitely looks like Drow Ranger is going to be going for Butterfly, which I think if I'm being honest, I think I would have rather had seen Weaver go for BKB first and then maybe go for a Butterfly second, because the Lincoln Sphere isn't really blocking all that much. At least I don't believe. Feel free to call me out in the comments on YouTube or whatever. But I don't think it's really actually blocking all that much. It is giving him a nice amount of stats, though. So there is that. But I think the Butterfly would have been much better to help him avoid a lot of that physical damage from Drow Ranger. And I think the Echo Slam is physical as well. No, that's magical. But I do know that the Death Ward is physical, so... Yeah, I think a Butterfly for Weaver would have been a better choice, I think. And Tidehunter's been sitting on this, well, he still needs the Mystic Staff, so he probably bought out this recipe before he died. And that's going to be a completed Heart of Tarask on Axe. Earthshaker's still sitting on Boots and an Urn. Witch Doctor, pretty close to Acceptor, just needs about another 150 gold and he'll be fine. And that's going to be Lincoln Sphere pop for Weaver, and he does use the Kuchi to get away. So the Canadians, they do rotate 4 up into this lane. And a nice swap from Vengeful Spirit. And the Ravage not going to catch on anyone. Blade Mail will be activated. Weaver going ahead and popping the BKB. The Death Ward is doing a ton of damage. Vengeful Spirit taking a ton of damage from that. The Maledict will kill her. And Weaver getting the kill on the Earthshaker, and the cast bouncing around like crazy. The Shadow Wave will be used, and Weaver says, enough of this, I'm getting out of here. As Drow Ranger does split push and yeah, takes down this tier 3 tower. Axe did get a kill on Viper in the meantime, so a little bit of split pushing action here in an exchange that definitely favors the Canadians as they get 3 down and a tier 3 tower at the same time. And that's going to be a finished Butterfly for Drow Ranger. And Axe did blink in and trying to use the Berserker's Call. Going to be just off the mark here, but he is going to go ahead and chase out the Weaver as the cask does pop the Lincoln Sphere. And Axe might go down here, and I think he will. Yeah, Weaver getting the kill on him there. And this Weaver just has so much sustain right now, unless I'm wrong. A nice swap from Vengeful Spirit. Doesn't necessarily save Weaver, as Witch Doctor does get the final kill, but you gotta appreciate that real nice defensive swap. So they did take down the Axe, which is always good, because that Axe was definitely real far ahead. But yeah, that's yeah, some nice teamwork on the side of 2EZ 4RTZ, so I gotta hand it to him. That was a nice little play there. And it looks like they're gonna try and catch out the Drow Ranger. The Scythe being used a little early here. Still goes down regardless, but at the same time it will cost Vengeful Spirit her life. And the Viper Strike was used on the Tidehunter, and I think that's going to be a dead Tidehunter. So all in all, it's a little bit of a dragged out engagement, but all in all, that is going to be essentially a 3-for-3 trade-off for both teams. I would slightly give the favor to, well, I don't know. It's a bit of a wash, I think. I mean, if you look at the Canadians, in terms of net worth, Axe and Drow are so far ahead of everyone else. Weaver excluded. I mean, if you look at Viper and Necrophos, they're just so far ahead. But yeah, I think that last exchange maybe Well, I still say it favors Canadians because they did take the tier 3, but, well, I don't know. At the same time, 2EZ 4RTZ got a ton of gold out of that, so probably a bit of a wash, I think. And 2EZ 4RTZ trying to make the big plays happen here and go for Roshan, which is just a smart play here. And yeah, the Canadians have no idea this is going on. They don't have any ward vision up at all. So I think they're going to go ahead and be able to take this Roshan down uncontested. And it went down pretty quick as well, thanks to the medallion. And of course, Weaver's doing a decent amount of damage now. He does have the Desolator up. So he did complete that and is probably starting to feel quite threatening. Tidehunter does finish up the Shiva's Guard, which, you know, I already said I am a huge fan of Shiva's Guard. And the Canadians, they are just getting real cocky here. They don't even have any wards up. They're just going like all out YOLO mode. They just don't care. No ward vision up whatsoever. You gotta hand it to the Dazzle and to the Vengeful Spirit, who are just doing a great job playing support. But yeah, Witch Doctor also doing a great job. Does have that Ag Scepter. Earthshaker also doing a great job. And that's going to be a dead Dazzle as they do deploy the Shiva's Guard. And a nice Fisher. The Ravage is going to catch out 3 of them. And that's a double kill for Axe. Weaver is going to go ahead and deploy the BKB and tons of damage. Witch Doctor is going to go down. Weaver got a double kill out of that one. And it looks like we might see a dead Tidehunter as well. Viper and Weaver doing just a ton of damage. And this Axe is in a bad spot as well. He does get the triple kill. No, excuse me, the quad kill with the Culling Blade. And Weaver is getting quite low on HP, and actually he does have the Aegis popped, and that will be an immediate Berserker's Call initiated. The Culling Blade was used a little early there. But yeah, essentially that is a 3-4-6 essentially exchange favoring the Canadians. And this Axe is sitting on 6,000 gold now. Just buy something, for crying out loud, man. He is going to save up for buyback, of course, which is real important. And oh my gosh, that was like basically, he just got two-shotted by Axe and Drow Ranger. And this Axe and Drow Death Squad are just going to go ahead and push into this tower. No problem. Drow Ranger sitting pretty with the Maelstrom and the Butterfly and the Chrysalis. I don't even think she's really needed to use the Shadow Blade yet. She does get swapped, doesn't even care. Berserker's Call will be used, and there we go. Drow Ranger getting the kill with the Maelstrom proc. Just doing a ton of damage to these barracks. And this has got to be GG's real soon here. So that's one set of racks down for 2EZ 4RTZ. But I got to think that since this is an elimination match, they're just going to stick with it until the bitter end here. And yeah, 2EZ 4RTZ, they have had a good game. I don't want to discredit that at all. Their play has been really good, but with that said, the Canadians have been doing even better. Axe just went ham with this Culling Blade in the mid game, just going absolutely nuts in the mid game with the Culling Blade, and really just did kind of a hashtag space created type situation for Drow Ranger to farm up. So good for them. But it's not over until the Ancient's down, which is exactly what the Canadians are trying to do right now. They're grouping up as 3, pushing out this bottom lane. Axe, not sure what Axe is doing. Earthshaker continuing to try and farm up a little bit. Does have that Helm of Iron Will, that clutch 40-minute Helm of Iron Will. And here we go, Drow Ranger getting the kills already. And yeah, the Death Ward will be used. The Scythe isn't really going to do too much. That's a double kill for Drow Ranger. And the Death Ward just doing a ton of damage. And I believe we did see the Lincoln Sphere just get popped thanks to the Culling Blade. Maybe. Actually, I'm not sure on that one. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so the Lincoln Sphere is back online. We'll see if he is going to try and go in for the Lincoln Sphere. Yeah, okay, there we go. He did try to use the Culling Blade on the Weaver, but yeah, Lincoln Sphere does block Culling Blade, so there you go. I take back everything that I said about Lincoln Sphere. It was a great pickup for this match. So if you were mad about 15 to 20 minutes ago, Jack, I apologize for that. Oh, but not quite enough there. They did pop the Lincoln Sphere and then use the Culling Blade on him, so... Bit of a tough situation there, and we do have a Weaver buyback coming in. Tidehunter does blink in. Pops the Shiva's Guard. Shallow Grave will be used, but it's just going to delay the inevitable here. Tidehunter does go down, though. That's 4 down on the side of the Canadians. They're kind of throwing here. They do get the kill on the Vengeful Spirit. The Scythe will be used to take down Axe, finally. And, okay. So, 2EZ 4RTZ holding on here. They said, hey, we don't care. We're just going to go ahead and throw some more gold your way. So, not sure what Weaver is going to be building next. Maybe holding on for more buyback gold. Let's take a look at the buyback status. So, his buyback is on cooldown for another 6 minutes. So, I got to think that he'd probably be looking into building another item at this stage in the game. Kind of surprised Viper didn't go for the Ag Scepter on Viper. It is probably one of the best Ag Scepter upgrades in the game. It reduces the cooldown of Viper Strike to like 14 seconds or something crazy like that. And it upgrades the cast range and the mana cost as well. But, you know, really what you're looking for is that cooldown. It kind of puts it on a level that you can get off to, depending on, you know, how the team fights go. And the Canadians do go ahead and throw up the glyph, and it does. The Ravage catches out only one. That might be a dead Viper though, off the back of this. He does have the weave down, so he is getting quite a bit of armor out of it. But no, it doesn't matter. Witch Doctor will kill Viper. Earthshaker does kill the Dazzle, and yeah, that is a successful tower defense. But yeah, I definitely don't blame 2EZ 4RTZ one bit for trying to push this tower, because what else are you gonna do? You know, you kind of got to go for it. And Drow Ranger going for the Mjolnir. She will have that coming out on the Courier. Witch Doctor does have that Ag Scepter, of course. He's had it for quite some time. Axe does go for the Assault Cuirass, which I do like. Let's see, what else? Blink Dagger on Vengeful Spirit, interesting. Maybe to get off some good Blink Magic Missile or Blink Swap combos. Definitely not a bad idea. Necrophos does have the Ag Scepter, has had it for quite some time. Not sure if I mentioned that. I believe I did. But yeah, I think when it comes down to it, the Canadians just have more farmed cores than 2EZ 4RTZ does. The Weaver has done a decent job of keeping up, though, and they are going to continue the assault on these barracks, and Venge swapped herself into certain death there. And that's going to be 2 Culling Blades being used. Death Ward going down, bouncing around like crazy. That's 4 dead on the side of 2EZ 4RTZ. Dazzle will go ahead and buy back, and Viper is going to go ahead and run back to the fountain. And the Berserker's Call will be used, and that's 3 down. Excuse me, 4 down on the side of 2EZ 4RTZ, which I believe was a... Yeah, Dazzle bought back and then died again, which is not a good situation. Berserker's Call being used yet again. Necrophos taking quite a bit of damage. The Scythe will be used on Tidehunter. Yeah, I think that's going to be just enough for them to go ahead and take down these last couple towers here and go ahead and finish out the game. Drow Ranger getting the kill on the Viper as well. So they do go to work on these towers, and yeah, it's looking like it's just a matter of time here. And Drow Ranger's starting to farm up the fountain here. Again, I think we need the foyer. We need the foyer. Axe blinking up, using the Berserker's Call, getting the kills, which is has been happening since about the 12-minute mark. So I gotta think this is GG. They might just let him just kill out the buildings. And yeah, the Ancient will be exposed, and it will go down, and yeah, there we go. GG, well played from the side of 2EZ 4RTZ. And I gotta agree with him. Some nice, well-mannered folks here in the We Like Dota community, as always. So yeah, the Canadians win the series in a commanding fashion. Awesome weaving, I gotta agree. Give me that high five. It's nice to see these guys being friendly towards each other. But yeah, Canadians really just going to town and just going crazy. Look at this, 30 kills on the side of Axe. Good freaking lord. But yeah, really won the match in the mid-game form. Made some space for Drow to farm up. But yeah, Weaver also did a great job farming up as well. So yeah, thanks a lot, folks. Thanks a lot for watching, and I feel like I should say something else here, but I don't have anything else to say. So thanks for watching, everybody. Keep your eyes tuned to twitch.tv/WeLikeDota. And, of course, go to WeLikeDota.com for links to our podcast and all the other links to all sorts of other things that we do. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time.